Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Victor Hale, and I am here with Snowy Sandberg.
Yeah.
If you hear anything behind us, it's that we're actually playing a game right now. It's Sonic Riders for the GameCube. Yeah, for all the young kids scoffing at me, don't worry. We have Sonic Riders free race for your disappointed fandom.
Yep.
I'm only joking. That game is terrible.
Anyway, that's not the issue we're bringing up today. We're bringing up the issue of the school shooting.
In Parkland, Florida. Now, being Florida natives, we're definitely pissed. But with the accusations they've had towards the victims, that's 10 times the piss.
Yeah, but you also have to look on the other hand for mass school shootings. Nobody was there to help when Sandy Hook's mass shooting was going on. Nobody. And I mean, where were the people fighting for them?
Theoretically speaking, whenever mass shootings happen, it's either one, quietly put under the rug, two, some kind of parent or lawyer gets involved and wants to lobby for gun control, but the people who do it don't execute it properly, and therefore we get some lobbyer from NRA who either brazenly accepts it in order to put himself into the White House and then screws over the American people. The other one, of course, is the real protector, the kinds of congressmen that fight for gun regulation. Now, when we say nobody really helps, we're talking about Donald Trump.
Indeed, because
Donald Trump has done nothing, and I mean nothing, to help out. You want the evidence? I'll tell you. The evidence is his brazen attempt to say there is nothing we can do, when that is actually false.
And the fact that students who are survivors of the incidents have been coming out alongside their parents. Yet here we go in a debate, especially shown on ABC and other news channels the other night, with Donald Trump saying that we should give the teachers guns. Okay, well, put that out there. Do you think that's a good idea? Giving the teachers guns, or no? Just have metal detectors, or do what do you think to that? Because that's what Donald Trump proposed.
A grieving mother, who Donald Trump coincidentally accused as a paid actor, or rather, it's just the right Republicans at Breitbart.com. I'm sure there's a few 4chan lovers who've been around since the George W. Bush days. But continuing what we were saying before, not much help has been helping out people from mass shootings. Obama actually took an approach to make a law that certified that the FBI was granted privilege to do background checks on people who were mentally unstable, or people who weren't declared mentally unstable, who had similar symptoms to being that kind of a person.
But you gotta admit, But you gotta admit, this Trump administration decided to get rid of that Obama law, and that's what's pissing people off. If one politician who was in the debate, you know what she brought up? She brought up the fund of mental health. Okay, well, if you care about mental health and you're from the FBI, right?
Mm-hmm.
Here's my question for you. Why the hell did you get rid of that law? If you're saying it's mental health, exactly. Why the hell did you vote to get rid of this law in general? Because the government shut down the funding for the mental health, or we wouldn't be having this issue if they didn't do that.
And even more importantly, if you want to take a look at the reason why this regulation has been abrupt, I suggest you all watch the Humanist report. He goes into full detail about what's happening. Another person I suggest you watch, The Ring of Fire. Farron Cousins is actually a trusted lawyer from the state of Massachusetts, I believe, and he actually had everything to say about the Parkland shootings. He and the Humanist report, aka Mike Figueredo, they brought to attention that there are people out there who will vehemently deny that there are corrupt politicians who will outright attack people standing up for themselves.
You know what's sick about this? That makes me sick about this?
Mm-hmm.
The fact that kids who are survivors of these shootings and their parents, the fact that they're coming up bravely and saying, look, this is what really happened. You said we need your help, yet you're not going to take action as their president to do something. Like, we asked you, and here they are protesting just to make a difference. And knowing that those are the only people right now that people will listen to power us kids and teenagers like us. You know what the other part about that is? That's sad.
It really is. When you bring up the idea that teachers should have guns, you have to look at this scenario. Over 10 years, there have been incidents where even people who are commissioned as officers who are part of public schools, if they have a gun, they probably, if they wanted to, they could actually have the excuse to vehemently shut people up by telling them that he has a gun. And therefore, he will use it if you threaten him.
No.
But there are people, like that one officer Donald Trump pardoned, who will vehemently racial scan you. And if you're a black man, he will vehemently try to discredit anything that you have to do. As evidence, well, the man that I'm talking about, I believe he was an officer in San Jose. He committed to racial profiling and unjustly accused people of violence as well as evidence fraud.
You know what else?
And it turned out that police within that same district actually confessed that he was actually racial profiling and that he was tampering with evidence in order to try to prove people wrong.
You know what also scares me?
Mm-hmm.
The fact that some of these officers on the school campuses, they also have tasers. And you know what has happened that's been going on too for a long time?
Hmm.
These officers have been tasing students in the classroom.
Exactly.
So, do you honestly think giving them a weapon like a gun or a taser, would that change anything?
No, it doesn't. All it does is give them another weapon to kill. And if you think that tasers are non-lethal, think again. There's been evidence to support that if you put a taser to someone's heart, you can shut them down permanently.
I mean, there's videos of this been proven from schools that students have been taking and putting them on YouTube. Look them up. You'll see them. Like, I've seen a couple, and let me tell you, those things are horrifying just to watch.
And if you happen to not see them, then either one, you don't want to see it. Two, you don't want to see any kind of proof of this happening and want to be willfully ignorant. Two, you won't find it because the original video is taken down. Or number four, and this is my personal favorite, it's right there in front of you. Everyone proves it wrong, but Donald Trump will address this issue, and he'll be like, fake news, fake news, fake news.
Well, guess what? You can probably see spoofs of all these mass school shootings as a sense of disease on South Park for all we care. And they might be making light of the matter, yes. But
South Park actually made a spoof of the Columbine incident, for Pete's sake.
Well, truth be told, towards addressing South Park, that is not going to help anything either. That is going to basically say it's funny and it's okay and that this should not be considered serious. But truth is, how many lives have to be lost for this to be considered a serious issue and for a call to action to actually be heard and happen? Like, how many people have to die just to see that? Please tell me, because I don't know.
Oh, and actually, this is actually brought up in the Humanist Report's recording of the incident. The person, I believe her name was Emma, she actually brought up two facts. Donald Trump gets paid $30 million from the NRA. You want to know what that means? That means if the NRA says, don't tell the truth to the American people, he will comply. Another thing you have to look at is
Corrupt politicians.
that too, but even more importantly, does anybody remember the KKK rally or whatever?
Yeah.
That one KKK member who ran over somebody and killed them?
Yes. Who doesn't remember that?
Let's look at that issue. Trump brazenly said, I need evidence. But when it comes to CNN or MSNBC or whatever, he'll just outright fake news, fake news, fake news.
And you know what's also sickening about all this? The fact that he's claiming all these survivor victims, and they're talking about their story as fake news, as actors, and the fact that his son is also jumping on board on social media like Twitter. That's what's sickening. Like, nobody should be going around doing that. Like, these are survivors. They want to come out, they want to tell their story and tell the truth like it is. You know what? We're the only ones that basically are normals.
Speaking of that, I actually want to point this out there. Parkland, Florida. Now, I go to Pasco Hernando State College, and I used to go to Florida Gulf Coast. You want to know where two of my roommates were born in? Parkland, Florida. Yeah, two of my roommates are from Parkland, Florida. They're the Jiovenetti brothers. And back at one point, they were wrestlers. If they saw this video yesterday, oh, you better watch out. They probably are punching their walls.
Dude, they'd probably be I'm guessing you'd compare them to WWE's lunatic own Dean Ambrose from S.H.I.E.L.D. and Roman Reigns the Bad Dog from WWE. If you could compare them to those two.
We could. Inevitably, however, I will also bring up the fact that when I first saw this issue in Parkland, and people were saying they were paid actors because they were calm and cool or whatever, I dare you, go to the Humanist report. Parkland Survivors is the first two words of the title. Look it up. If you think that all those cries for vengeance are actually paid, you're fucking assholes. Because I know true rage when I see it. And maybe I am a paid actor. After all, I get paid to be a security guard. I feel ashamed that I was not down there to protect some of those people. That's how pissed I really am. If I was a security guard stationed down there, maybe I would have been rusty. But you know what? I would have punched the daylights out of the people that thought it was a good idea to buy a rifle and shoot up the school. If the guy was actually someone I could genuinely agree with, I would still say, motherfucker, you don't shoot up a school to make a statement. You just don't. All you're doing is fueling the fire for people to fuck you over. And you fuck over 10 million other people.
And you know what's cruel? And I noticed this on the news when I was watching it the other night. They showed a picture of the guy going to court. And you know what he said flat out? He said he didn't regret this. And you know what he also added in? He wanted to be called Crazy Nick. If he's admitting he doesn't regret this, doing this whole shooting thing, then what the hell is wrong with people nowadays? It's horrifying to hear that.
Exactly.
I mean,
you might argue that of course there are those people that do exist, and there are those people who might have a legitimate reason. But no matter what happens, if you can stop something like this from happening, try it. If you can't, we will understand you. Some people are going to be assholes, of course. That's to be expected. You're going to have a couple of bullies. You're going to have those crazy nutbags who will dedicate a day to kill, and then they'll try to make a name for themselves. I got one thing to say to those people. If you know that this kid could potentially do something like that, try your hardest to help the dude. Feeling pity is not the same as trying your hardest to help him out. feeling pity just gives you a reason to maybe help him out. You want to know what actually can help him? Try to treat your friends the way you do other people. Not your best friends. Your best friends are your best friends. If you have friends that you can trust who can help him out, maybe tell them to help him out. And if they can't do it, try to help your friend out to help him out. And if you think that's too much of a job to do, well, I'm going to be honest with you. The fact that I'm a millennial, I definitely feel like people like me are going to be lazy about it. I'm lazy. I'm a millennial. But even I try to help people out. That's saying something. Anyway, all I can say is, with all the stuff that's been going around, I suggest you take a look at the 2 videos I mentioned. Ring of Fire's newest video is all about the Parkland shooting. He doesn't show footage, but the thumbnail shows Donald Trump in it. He calls out Donald Trump for the fact that Donald Trump brazenly denies shit that happens. There are people on Breitbart, there are Republicans coming out on this, and Donald Trump Jr. has tried to say that those people are actors. Donald Trump Jr. is a confirmed asshole. If you want to deny it, you're fucking idiots. And no, if you think I'm going to change my statement, no. Fuck you. Oh, and if you're wondering if I have a face and if I should act, and if I'm actually afraid of it, don't even bother. Maybe I am a paid actor. After all, I get paid to protect people.
And to be honest, at this point in time, you need to look out for each other, because if you don't, well, the question is, who else will look out for you if it's you're not looking out for each other? Because the government ain't gonna do shit. And you know what? If my words were the President Trump, F you! Because you ain't looking out for us, we're looking out for each other. That's all we have. And you know what? It was so easier in 1773 when America was first starting out with Washington and them and Declaration of Independence. Things were a simpler time back then. No guns and no worries like this we have now.
We had the closest thing to a mass shooting was the militia getting killed.
Yeah, that's the only thing we had back then. Other than that, it was like peaceful and no drama, and there's no overpowering of the government.
And even then, the biggest threat was Britain. They had something to fight for back then. What do we have now?
We don't have much of anything.
Exactly. Almost everything we try to do, some people will say, oh, don't do it. Someone else can do it. Someone else can do it. Someone else can do it. Don't do it. Don't do it. You'll just look like you're trying to hop on the bandwagon. Well, I don't fucking care if I'm hopping on the bandwagon. My opinion is my opinion.
And you know what else? Yeah, our generation, we can be the innovators. We can be the movers. And you know what else? In the world of Walt Disney, if you have the power to believe it and dream it, if you dream it, we can do it.
If you can dream it, you can work. If you can dream it and you can work hard, you can do a lot of things. I want to put it, and now that I want to put it into this, I sincerely hope you go and check out my friends, the Jiovenetta. I sincerely hope you guys go and check out the Jiovenetta brothers. They're some really good friends of mine who might be in mourning about this. One of their friends may be hurt. So yeah.
And also, if you have something you want to complain, you know what? Write a letter. Email your politicians. Hell, go protest from the White House like everyone else is doing. Because you know what? Trump sucks. He needs to know what he's doing is one hell of a bad mistake. And we're all going to turn against him. Just protect ourselves, because you know what? We can. And you may think that's hypocritical of me to say, but you know what? It's not. And look out for each other, because like I said, that's all you have. Because like I said, government ain't gonna do shit.
especially being ruled by Republicans who basically shut down the government many times
Dude,
when Democrats were in reign.
They also shut down the IRS. So what's that go to show you for tax breaks?
Anyway, I also want to point out that if you're afraid of net neutrality, don't. The net neutrality laws are not in effect. The Ajit Pai is trying to fool you into thinking that because there's no regulations that have been put into place, innovation is happening. He's lying to you. He's trying to get you to support his thing because there are people who are official law enforcement targeting him, and he's scared. So, do yourselves a favor. Don't be afraid. If you make a video and someone tries to shut you down, I'll be in support of you. And if I see a video where someone is actually calling someone out or calling me out or whatever, I'll happily make a thumbnail of a middle finger. Not even care of the fact that I never get monetized for my videos. And because I'm not getting monetized, my opinion is my opinion.
And you know
so
what
fuck all of y'all.
And you know what we'll also do? We'll play the Robin Williams clip in his great comedy show where he said, you know what? F it all. That's the best thing you can do. F it all.
R.I.P. Robin Williams.
Exactly. And if he says F it all, you know what? Fuck it all. Just do it. Don't care. Because we are the innovators and we're going to be the ones that you need to fear. So Trump, watch the fucking hell out because you know what? You're our target.
Oh, and if you're scared of us, wait until you see what Putin does to your anus.
Dude, he's already doing bad shit.
Anyway, this is Victor Hale and Snowy Sandberg signing off.